map is going to be Frost. So nice big 4-player map that Creature can try to maybe get a little bit started with depending on the spawns. And it seems like we are going to be starting up here at the top right-hand corner of the map. Top of the yellow Terran player. Give it up for Juggernaut Jason from Team Cray Squad.
Oh, yeah. And spawning down in the bottom right position, the red Protoss player from Team Ascension Pro, currently on his way back through the loser's bracket. Give it up for Creature!
I think people are getting intoxicated in the crowd.
I think so.
Just like,
someone
yeah,
just,
go
someone
that
just,
guy.
Some guy just lifted his shirt. It was, it was pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. It was, yeah, it's handsome.
Was it
well
tempo?
chiseled? But it was tempo. How did you know?
Must have been tempo. Okay, so we got our Protoss versus Terran Frost, a map that third expansions with these spawns can get a little bit tricky when you're dealing with drop harassment just because you're expanding away from your opponent, but becomes really short by air, long by ground distance to defend. But one of the other things about this map is that fourth expansions become really weird and interesting because it's around the time that pros players may be thinking about getting up the Tempest to help deal with Liberators.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're expanding into your opponent. So you get into this really weird spot.
Yeah, there's this kind of, there's that little air-to-air position between the two fourth bases that Tempests are extremely good on. However, because of the kind of wide open area, it's tricky to get up to them.
Yeah.
Liberation zones can be really strong, either attacking in and defending those areas. It becomes a very high skill-based situation, which is obviously very good and exciting to watch.
Absolutely. We do have a pretty fast factory coming out for Jason. Looks like he's going to be getting probably some sort of pretty quick tech up to starport, go for some harassment. Is actually a reactor on that Marine, or for the barracks, so just going to be pumping those guys out and actually foregoing any kind of Reaper opening, I think.
Yeah, he just went for his standard for him anyways. 1 Marine into reactor. He'll go up to 5 Marines and possibly even add on a Widow Mine, do an 8 Marine drop at the third base while he tries to maybe get a bit of Liberator pressure at the natural. So we'll have to see if that happens, if, for example, Creature can position his pylons in a good spot at his natural. Make sure he's not getting kind of pulled apart in the early to mid game.
Yeah, absolutely. Creature's going to be moving across the map with the Adept, mostly to try and get some scouting information and see what he's going to be up against. Likely going to end up canceling that shade.
Oh, he did it last time, and he didn't this time either. Oh, look at that.
He's trapped.
Oh!
Nothing is going to get out of there.
Jason's like, I know what you're going to do with this Adept, and he pounced on it.
Yeah. Learning from his mistakes from the last time.
Absolutely, and really punishing Creature, to be perfectly honest.
Well, we do have Observer coming out behind this, so Creature's going to try and shake it off, get into the normal mid-game that a lot of pros players will like to get into. I don't know if we've seen a Twilight Council come down just yet, though.
We have not. It's just been Robo straight into 2 additional gateways, and there's the Twilight. He has favored that Blink Stalker play. Bit of pressure, but also just to kind of control the map.
Yeah.
And, the Chrono Boost on that Cybercore is just going to let him get his production up a little bit better to time out with those gateways.
Yeah, I mean, going for Blink rather than Resonating Blaze really just does signal you want to be a little bit more defensive at first. It has the potential to move into aggression later on when you get the War Prism up and after you've dealt like a Liberator harassment or Widow Mine drops. But for the early stages of the game, it really is just something that helps you deal with that pressure for the start. But this is that pressure we were talking about. Blink is going to be on the way, but it's not going to be finished for a while. Yeah,
and Creature still hasn't thrown down his third base yet, so this is going to drop at an effectively empty third base. And Jason, kind of interestingly, but not too surprising, is going for tanks behind this. Pretty good on this map. Actually going to be able to get into the base without any indication that he's there. Oh, there's the 8th Marine does get dropped. Even just a couple. Oh, wow, that's an Artosis pylon again. Going to go straight for it. Pulls the probes. Oh, look at that pickup drop micro.
Saving the Marines with a Photon Overcharge. Really nicely done. He can actually go back in there a little bit later on and snipe that off.
I think he can go back in there right now and snipe that off.
Yeah, Photon Overcharge is gone. He's not controlling it, though. I think he has the medevac set on it. There it goes. 3 gateways. That's every single gateway, I think. Depowered. But now the Medivac is going to get sniped off. The pylon, oh, it gets very close to being picked off again. He's not going for those. He's going for the probes. Get the pylon.
The tasteless pylon lives.
Oh.
The
Tasteless never goes down.
Tasteless never goes down. But you know what just went down? At least one probe?
At least one worker.
At least 4 workers.
Misclick.
Misclick, sorry. Wasn't BM. Oh, did he just drop a mule? I think he might have dropped a mule.
I don't know. Well.
Oh.
I don't know. Would you take the report? I would actually commend him for it.
If he reported him, that'd be amazing. He gets his account banned and he can't play the rest of the games.
That is a default win, technically.
That's how that would work.
All right, well, Liberator sieging up in the main base right now. Stalkers have Blink, though, so they're going to be able to clean it up. Really just losing a bit of mining time, which is obviously annoying for Creature. But Gravitic Drive on the way, Disruptors on the way. Steadfast, do you remember what the Disruptors did the last time these two guys fought?
I don't remember.
Vaguely remember?
Perhaps you could refresh my memory.
Well, let's see. I'll give you a hint. It starts with a B and ends with an
Oh. Boom!
Okay, well.
Was it something like that?
It was something like that. It was on the Army before, but it works out pretty well when it's on the SCV line too.
8 workers going down, and I love this. He's going for Colossus this time. He is going to get 2 disruptors and go straight into Colossus. I love that decision from Creature. That is a huge adjustment.
Such a great psych out. That is such a great psych out because immediately Jason's going to get PTSD about that last game that they played, the last disruptor shots he had to face off against, and what's going to end up happening is he may end up over-preparing for that, not really going for the transition that you need to do versus Colossus, even doing things like getting out some of those Vikings, preparing for it.
Yes, exactly, and even going for that double Forge, so Creature's going to be in a nice position upgrade-wise. Going for double Disruptor drops, they hit nothing.
Jason learned his lesson.
Yeah,
I just imagine every single hour, every single minute he was just like splitting Marines in his head versus the Disruptors.
He's like, okay, Purification Nova, I want to go away from that. I go away from it, okay. And he was able to do it quite effectively right there. Didn't lose any units.
Yeah, but as we learned when we watched, what was it, Creature versus Up a Tree, at a certain point, Creature can get to the point where he just has too many Disruptors or even just too many Colossus, and you can't really rely on that.
Nice, picks off 3 Marines right there. That's ultimately free damage as long as he keeps these alive. And
only costs him APM.
As long as he keeps these alive.
Oh, okay, War Prism taking a couple of hits over there, but it speeds out of there. Gravitic Drive paying for itself.
That's that's where you make the whoop, 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 whoop. Zoidberg noise.
All right, well, the Colossus count is definitely building up pretty heavily at this point, and Jason is still blissfully unaware of it. The Liberators moving in for the harassment may end up being the first reveal if he catches a glimpse of any of the Colossus moving on in.
Yeah, we do see a pretty big attack from Jason is going to be coming out. A lot of Tankovacs, 2 Liberators. There is only 1 Colossus with this army.
Marine scouts it out.
There's the second one does pop out. Perfect.
Yeah, third one should be on the way.
It is, yeah. It's about 20-25% of the way done.
But Jason backs off. He sees those units and he says, actually, I don't want to take this engagement. I need to build up my army a bit. I need to change my composition.
Yes, and we do see a Dark Shrine coming down. That could, Creature, I would love to see him utilize that more than has been done throughout the tournament.
You know, I'm a big believer in when always Dark Shrine. If you're on 3 bases, getting a Dark Shrine is just as simple as throwing it down. It's not that big of a gas investment as it used to be way back in Heart of the Swarm or anything like that. Or actually, I think it was even Wings of Liberty where the costs got
250,
Yeah, really, really different time when Dark Complex was like a huge commitment. But
yeah,
I mean, when you're on 3 bases, you can afford it, and it just forces out scans. It allows you to put pressure on with a low supply, which is something I think Protoss generally doesn't have that much of.
Yeah. Creature's got to be careful right here, though. Doesn't want to fight into those liberation zones. Actually, I think he got a mine right there. Oh, wow, look at that. That was cool.
Oh, Widowmine didn't know it hit him.
It probably not.
That missile turret didn't know it hit him.
Both of these things are... Actually, no, the missile turret does have a person in it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Depths are going to get cleaned up. Doing nice little bits of harassment. Just
Oh, actually kills the Widow Mine there. Oh, Purification Nova doesn't get the big detonation that it wants.
yeah, gotta be careful.
Ooh.
They're getting awfully close to this army. More Colossus are still being made. It's going to be just for consistent damage. It's a lot harder to snipe off those disruptors when there are Colossus backing them up.
Oh, I
Here we
love
go.
this move. Using the siege tanks from afar to cover this drop.
Yeah, forcing a blink forward that actually might give him an opportunity to move on some of these Liberators, but not actually opting to do so. He needs those siege tanks also to be covering him, but here's the thing. Creature takes a 4th expansion behind this. He's getting up double Stargates now. He's going to immediately, I assume eventually get up a Fleet Beacon.
Yeah, he is up to 4 Colossus right now, and as you said, double Stargate. 2-2 upgrades are nearly done, as well as a 4th base just starting up now for Creature, and Jason actually. Jason going to be trying to get some army. I think he just took a big disruptor hit, actually.
Yeah, his army's looking a lot smaller right now. Siege tanks also getting picked off. Colossus trying to do damage from afar, but it just seems like Creature has this really, really scary army that's going to be able to force Jason back.
Yes, and Jason, after, I believe, taking that big disruptor hit, he just pulled back, and he realizes that, you know what, I probably shouldn't be out here now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fire coming my way.
There is quite a bit of fire coming this way. And the problem is, I feel like Creature just has a better quality army right now. He's just got Colossus, Disruptors, he's getting upgrades, he's got the double Stargate out, he's getting up his own Fleet Beacon. Once he gets Tempest in the mix, that is the money composition. That is the only thing it's short of is maybe some High Templars.
Yes, High Templars. Got to get that Oracle for Revelation.
That's true.
Should be starting that up pretty shortly. Ideally, you don't want to lose out on any Stargate build time.
Yeah.
He is getting even 3-3 now on the way, and Jason, I think, is just on 1-1. And this is some... Oh, double sensor tower.
A little awkward.
Yeah.
He's going to double detect them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. Big Doom Drop going to the left side of the map. And Jason could be a little bit exposed while he is moving out with that, but also another attack potentially going on the right side. No medevacs, though.
Creature, he went for the much further 4th expansion location. And it's actually going to get, unfortunately for him, caught by all of these medevacs that are going to actually be alerted by the photon thing. It's like, wait a second, I was just looking for your 3rd, but I mean, I'll happily take this if you're that far out of position. He also actually just had a Marine out in the center of the map get killed by that army, so he knows exactly where this army is.
There's a
he knows that he's
Oh, he does scan for it, though.
Yeah. Kills off all the photon cannons. Should be able to get out of here with all the medevacs.
Oh, just
very
barely.
close. But I mean, that is a big threat. Creature has a fairly immobile army with the Colossus. Even though the Stalkers are a bit more mobile, defending this 4th expansion is going to be absolute hell for him.
It really is. It's going to be brutal. And he is going to leave the Blink Stalkers there for now. I like this decision, but ideally you want an observer on that army.
Yeah.
And then to jump on it with the Blink Stalkers.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate if Jason he's moving in actually with the drops over on the bottom left-hand side, trying to get some damage done, just taking out the assimilator, forcing a reaction out of Creature because he's also moving in on the top right-hand side. So he's trying to put on the double pressure and force Creature to split up his army.
Ooh, is he going to blink to the high ground right now? I hope he doesn't, to be honest. No, I don't think he could trade cost efficiently with that Marauder Marine army.
No, I don't think so. 4 Tempests on the way at a time, by the way.
Yeah, that's a lot. So Creature actually will be looking to, I think, free up some supply shortly. Jason does have 2-2. He did get it started, and it's now nearly finished. So he will only be 1 tier of upgrades behind. 3-3 to 2-2.
Yeah.
Oh, nice blinks.
Yeah, doing a pretty nice job. Trading out not as poorly as it could be, but still going to need those reinforcing adept weapons to help clean things up and push him back.
Oh, wow.
Actually going to end up revealing his own Nexus attempt up here.
Yeah.
5th expansion.
Oh, big attack coming in on the right side as well into those that big army.
But it gets
and
shut
he's forced
down.
to stim out of there, yeah.
Disruptors plus the Colossus, just a little bit too much firepower for Jason to really deal with.
Speaking of a little bit too much firepower, I think there might be too much for Creature to deal with on this side. Needs to scan for those DTs, though.
Yeah, you have to remember also, he's going to have a lot of the capabilities for Warpins. The Tempests haven't even come into the mix just yet.
Another attack on the right side. Oh, wow. Again, taking some pretty big pot shots to the face, and Jason's actually down 20 supply now.
Yeah. Losing a lot of units, losing the army on the left-hand side, even going to end up losing a medevac or 2.
Creature you were saying that before. He's playing a ton better right now.
And it's this late game that I think you cannot let Creature get to. This is his strongest point.
Is he going for a carrier upgrade right now? Are my eyes correct? Is this?
Is that the carrier upgrade?
Is that? No, it is not. Thank you to our observer for pointing out my foolishness.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us. We always hope for the carriers, but
you always do.
Maybe one day when mech becomes a thing, having the balanced test map.
What other upgrade is there from the Fleet Beacon? Is that Phoenix Range?
Any on Pulse Crystals?
That must be the Phoenix Range upgrade, I guess.
I believe so.
Makes me sad.
Well, at this point, Creature has surprisingly enough been able to defend that bottom left-hand expansion and get up his other forward expansion as he's starting to establish that. It seems.
Oh! What? Do you want to maybe nod your head there, Mr. Observer? Because I think that's a carrier being built.
Wow. Did we? It seems like our observer does not like us. He's decided to turn off the game.
Whoops. Okay. And we're back.
Tweet at Endersword if you want to see the game.
Expand your vision.
Stalker is able to get some nice harassment done, finding a lot of workers that are long-distance mining at an expansion that wanted to be, but now the Stalkers are a little bit more than trapped as they're going to be caught between a rock and a hard place.
But you know what? He was just trading those out, and he's going 4 carriers at a time right now.
4 Stargates,
Please,
4
people,
carriers.
are you not excited? Are you not entertained?
I don't know what you do against this army, Steadfast. I actually think that this is one of those points where you're like, well, you know what?
You just win.
Maybe I need to build nukes or something because
I think nukes might be the answer.
I mean, seriously, I joke about nukes, but this is such a difficult army to kill. You have the disruptors that will zone out the bio, making sure the Marines can't just get underneath the carriers. The carriers add an insane amount of DPS. He's been getting those air upgrades, by the way, throughout this entire game, up to +2 air weapons. And just trading out that adept supply, still has a couple of ground gateway units. These Liberators are not going to know what hit him.
Yeah, now there is a lot of Vikings on the map, and the carrier count is not high. Storm is not done, so this could actually be a pretty scary position. Creature has to be careful. Doesn't want to eat a Widow Mine shot. Oh, actually got it with the... oh, nice, taking down a Liberator. Doesn't want to eat a Widow Mine shot with the Tempests.
Vikings should be able to kill off some of these Tempests very, very quickly. The problem is these Tempests are actually pretty beefy units, and there's not enough Vikings to one-shot the Tempest. So
no, there's not, and he actually didn't kill any Tempests in the last, I think, 3, maybe even 4 Vikings right there.
Yeah, Tempest's actually doing a great job of stacking up, making it very difficult to just continuously right-click on them while stun stepping. There's an attack on the bottom left-hand side at the same time that this engagement is happening, and the 4th expansion for Creature is going to be under fire.
That's so many bio units, and there's nothing to deal with it.
I think this is the way you have to play against this army of Creatures. You have to pick it apart from a lot of different angles, avoid the direct engagement, but always tease at it.
And Carrier has arrived, taking down several Vikings as they retreat.
But he's going to end up losing his 3rd expansion too. He's got nothing over here. He doesn't even have workers mining over here. I think this is the way you do it. You take out the production, you take out the economy, and as soon as they come back, you boost out of there. You get out of there.
Get right out of Dodge. Oh, he's
committing.
Big shot from the Purification Nova.
He's actually just going to end up trading out all this Bioforce. I suppose he does have the economy to replenish this right now. He's buying himself a lot of space.
Space has been created. And the carriers clean up those Marines. Oh, that DPS is so high.
A couple of stray medevacs sitting up in the top right-hand corner of those bases.
Yeah. I would love to see +3 attack for those carriers.
But here's the thing. Yes, some damage was done, some mild harassment, but Creature actually just has more of his supply freed up as some of his workers end up dying, and it's just going to go straight back into carriers. This just becomes a scarier army.
Yeah, exactly. He's killing workers so that, as you said, Creature can build more carriers.
He's almost like, just doing him a favor. A lot of idle SCVs over there.
Mining not happening right there. Look at all these Vikings. Storm is going to be so potent against this army.
Well, this is going to be a sort of weird angle. The Planetary Fortress is definitely going to make it a lot easier to deal with those gateway units, but he's moving through a choke point. Those disruptors are going to be so unforgiving.
Ooh, big revelation right there. Does kill a Tempest, because he does have enough to one-shot now.
Yeah.
that Guardian Shield is going to be so big against these Vikings.
Yeah. Disruptor's actually being used to knock down the planetary
Oh,
fortress a
can he
little
get
bit
it?
faster.
It's so close.
He's trying to avoid the Vikings, and he is sort of split up in this DPS. The Vikings are taking out the carriers one by one. All of them have gone down. The Tempests are still alive, and they're still whittling away at this army, but not the worst trades in the world for Jason so far. He's keeping that planetary fortress alive, just buying himself time.
Yeah, and really nice stacking, but Jason has a lot of damage. Where are the storms, though? He needed storms on those Vikings.
Oh, man. I don't know if he has a Temple Archives.
He has storm research. He just doesn't have any Templar.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so we're going to end up seeing the Tempest slowly whittle away at things, but I mean, the Tempests are starting to slowly get whittled away at by the Vikings. And GG gets called.
GG.
Jason takes game number 1.
He does after a steadfast defense.